I don't know what that Blake kid was talking about. That kiwi salad sounded sinfully delicious.
Oh, that is abominable, disgusting, malodorous, odious, and achoo!
Bless you.
Thank you.
No! Wait, what am I doing? No! Oh.
I feel sorry for you. You don't even know what's good for you.
Hey, I know what I like, and I know what Manny likes too.
Manny, tell our audience how our next speaker knows what's good for her. Swan Kim.
All my life, I've tried to be a good kid. As the first child of my family, I was expected to act more mature and be a role model for my younger brother. My parents would say things like, "Swan, you're older, so you have to behave better. Swan, if we die, you will have to be a parent to your brother, so always look after and take care of him." He's my brother, but the way they talked made it more like he was my child. It seemed unfair. We are 2 years apart, but my parents have treated us so differently. In my eyes, they still think my brother is a baby, but when I was his age, they expected me to act like an adult. In fact, since I was 8 years old, I have been expected to act like a grown-up. The only way I could do that was to hide my feelings. To be perfect for my parents, I acted like I didn't have any problems in my life. I was the loudest student at school, but I didn't speak a word at home. My pillow was soaked with tears every night, but I had to smile every morning. This is called good kid syndrome. This happens when certain kids are told by their parents to be good and to not express anger. These kids just want to be perfect and become super attentive what is expected of them. I continued my efforts to be a good kid while my parents' marriage was going downhill. Every time I heard them fighting, I would leave the house or listen to music loud enough so I couldn't hear them or my brother who was crying and telling them to stop. I silently wish they will either stop fighting or get a divorce, but I was a good kid and never said a word. At one point, my mother seemed sure they were going to get a divorce, and when she told me, I was actually glad. But then, because of the way divorce is perceived in Korean society, they're afraid it will put my brother and me at a disadvantage for getting married or holding jobs in the future. So they changed their minds. That made me feel even worse, like it was my fault they were unhappy. As my parents fought more and more, I began to talk less and less. I was shrinking inside of myself. I thought about suicide a few times, but I wasn't brave enough to actually do it. When I finally spoke, I begged them to get a divorce so they could be happy. I started to believe that the only way for our family to be happy was if I left the house. Right around that time, my mom asked me if I wanted to go to school in the United States. I didn't want to leave my friends and family behind, but I felt like I had to, so I did. Right after I left, my parents did fight less. Wow, I thought. Maybe I was the cause of their arguments. But while it seemed like things were getting better for our family, here on the other side of the world, the wound in my heart just festered and never healed. When I first arrived at ANC as a freshman, I was completely lost. I didn't know anyone. Everything and everyone just looked so different from my home. Now that they are far away, I miss the support and comfort of my family. My friends back in Korea couldn't understand me because we had completely different lives. Thankfully, I did have some other Korean girls at the dorm who understood what I was going through. I don't think I would survive without them. It was a new world and chance for a new start, but I brought my old habits with me. Just like back at home with my family, I kept all my anger, frustration, and loneliness inside. I thought I was doing this because I didn't want my parents to worry, and I didn't want all the new teachers and house mothers to think I had problems. I just focused on being a good kid. Turns out, I hid my feelings so well that eventually I forgot how to express my emotions at all. The people I met here wanted to get to know me and be my friends. But by hiding myself, I also closed my heart to accepting their feelings, their love, and potential happiness. People would say, "Swanee, I love you," but I felt really uncomfortable. Here, you just say "I love you" to basically everyone. And I was really not used to friends showing love, saying "I love you," and hugging every time you see them. I didn't even realize this had become an issue until one day my mom asked me if I loved her. She was upset that I wasn't sharing my emotions with her. Up until that point, I had never told my parents that I loved them. Every time they told me, "Swan, I love you," I said, "Yeah," or "I know." I never thought about love between my parents and me. I was too busy hiding sadness. But I was wrong. So after that, I started to say "I love you" more to my parents and even my friends. I realized that showing your love is okay, and being upset is okay too. Sometimes I still restrain myself from being sad or upset, but now I know I don't have to be perfect. I don't get angry when I get 70s on a test. I feel comfortable showing and receiving love. Everyone has problems and bad times. You don't have to hide them or feel guilty about them. If you let your troubles and heartaches out once in a while, you will discover you're not the only one in the world who's struggling, and there are many people who care about you. If you're hiding yourself right now, stop trying to be perfect. You're allowed to be a bad kid. Being bad isn't always bad. Thank you.